Our group looked into the effects on malnutrition in children under the age of 5. Gapminder defines malnutrition as a child whose weight for their age is more than 2 standard deviations below the median for the international reference population ages 0 to 59 months. The data are based on the WHO's new child growth standards released in 2006. To learn more about what affects malnutrition, we will analyze the relationships between child malnourishment and income. First, let's take a deeper look at the graph showing income, defined as gross domestic product per person, versus malnutrition. We can see that there is a tendency for malnutrition to decrease as income increases. Therefore, there is a negative correlation between income and the percentage of malnourished children. Additionally, to see this information a slightly different way, we can look at the graph of extreme poverty versus malnutrition in children under the age of 5. Here, the graph shows the x-axis as the percentage of the population living on less than $1.90 a day. Now, however, there is a positive correlation. As extreme poverty increases, so does malnutrition, and vice versa. Going back to the first graph, let's look at the relationship between income and malnutrition in a specific country. Ghana is a clear example of a country whose malnutrition rate has been directly impacted by the income per person. In 1993, Ghana's malnutrition rate peaked at 25.1%, but has since drastically dropped to 11% in 2014. It's also clear that Ghana's income per person has increased over this time period, $2,020 in 1993 to $3,950 in 2014. Ghana's malnutrition is responsible for a third of all child deaths. Despite the fact that its malnourishment percentage is so high, the people of Ghana and organizations abroad have been working to decrease that number by providing the people with resources and primarily by increasing the income per person. Why do income and malnutrition negatively correlate? Income greatly affects the type of food an individual or family can afford to eat, which is a main determinant of malnutrition. For example, a healthy diet includes the appropriate serving sizes of food groups in the food pyramid. This means eating the correct amount of protein, carbohydrates, vegetables, etc. to gain the nutrients needed for health and survival. If one has a balanced dietary intake, then they are likely to be healthier. If an individual's diet doesn't include these items, he or she is more susceptible to disease, which can more easily lead to malnutrition. Because eating a healthy, balanced diet can be expensive, a household with more income can not only buy more food, but buy more nutritious foods. Greater income allows for food security. World Bank defines food security as having enough food for an active and healthy life. On the other hand, a family with lower income is more vulnerable because it often cannot afford the expenses of healthier foods. Lower income forces a family to search for quantity over quality, thus the negative correlation between income and malnutrition. On the graph with extreme poverty, Gapminder doesn't provide data past 2005, but the National Center for Biotechnology Information states that from 1992 to 2014, Ghana dropped its poverty rate by nearly 50%. This in turn has helped decrease the percentage of malnutrition. It is important to note, however, that increasing income per person or decreasing the percentage of extreme poverty is not the sole cause of a decrease in child malnourishment. Correlation doesn't necessarily imply causation. This helps explain why Ghana's child malnourishment has decreased. Yes, it is related to the increase in income per person and the decrease in extreme poverty, but there are also other factors that have affected it. Ghana decreased its malnutrition percentage by increasing its levels of education and improving its agricultural production. Agriculture has now become the largest source of income and employment, giving the people of Ghana the opportunity to make money. As Ghana has developed as a country through improving education and increasing income, it has given the people access to more advanced technology, better food, cleaner water, and more sanitary conditions. All in all, these factors have come together to improve people's nutrition and has reduced the total percent of malnutrition amongst children under the age of 5 in Ghana.